fear, faced and felt with its bodily sensations and the thoughts that go along with it, will automatically bring about its own state of resolution. The conscious system of beliefs behind the impediment will be illuminated, and you will realize that you feel a certain way because you believe an idea that causes and justifies such a reaction. If you habitually deny the expression of any emotions, to that degree you become alienated, not only from your body, but from your conscious ideas. You will bury certain thoughts and put up biological armor to prevent you from physically feeling their effects upon your body. In each case, the answer lies in your personal system of beliefs, in those strong concepts you hold on an intimate level that brought about the inhibitions to begin with. If you find yourself running around in a spiritual frenzy, trying to repress every negative thought that comes into your head, then ask yourself why you believe so in the great destructive power of your slightest quote-unquote negative thought. The body and mind together do present a united self-regulating, healing, self-clearing system. Within it, each problem contains its own solution if it is honestly faced. Each symptom, mental or physical, is a clue to the resolution of the conflict behind it, and contains within it the seeds of its own healing. Now, it is true that habitual thoughts of love, optimism, and self-acceptance are better for you than their opposites. But again, your beliefs about yourself will automatically attract thoughts that are consistent with your ideas. There is as much natural aggressiveness in love as there is in hate. Hate is a distortion of such a normal force, the result of your beliefs. As in the material that Robert received ahead of time for his own use, natural aggression is cleansing and highly creative, the thrust behind all emotions. There are two ways to get at your own conscious beliefs. The most direct is to have a series of talks with yourself. Write down your beliefs in a variety of areas, and you will find that you believe different things at different times. Often there will be contradictions readily apparent. These represent opposing beliefs that regulate your emotions, your bodily condition, and your physical experience. Examine the conflicts. Invisible beliefs will appear that unite those seemingly diverse attitudes. Invisible beliefs are simply those of which you are fully aware but prefer to ignore because they represent areas of strife with which you have not been willing to handle thus far. They are quite available once you are determined to examine the complete contents of your conscious mind. If this strikes you as too intellectual a method, then you can also work backward from your emotions to your beliefs. In any case, regardless of which method you choose, one will lead you to the other. Both approaches require honesty with yourself and a firm encounter with the mental, psychic, and emotional aspects of your current reality. As with Andrea, you must accept the validity of your feelings while realizing that they are about certain issues or conditions and are not necessarily factual statements of your reality. I feel that I am a poor mother, or I feel that I am a failure. These are emotional statements and should be accepted as such. You are to understand, however, that while the feelings have their own integrity as emotions, they may not be statements of fact. You might be an excellent mother while feeling that you are very inadequate. You may be most successful in reaching your goals while still thinking yourself a failure. By recognizing these differences and honestly following the feelings through, in other words, by riding the emotions, you will be led to the beliefs behind them. A series of self-revelations will inevitably result, each leading you to further creative psychological activity. At each stage, you will be closer to the reality of your experience than you have ever been. The conscious mind will benefit greatly as it becomes more and more aware of its directing influence upon events. It will no longer fear the emotions or the body as threatening or unpredictable, but sense the greater unity in which it is involved. The emotions will not feel like stepchildren, with only the best dressed being admitted. They will not need to cry out for expression, for they will be fully admitted as members of the family of the self. Now again, some of you will say that your trouble is that you are too emotional, too sensitive. You may believe that you are too easily swayed. In such cases, you are afraid of your emotions. You think their power so strong that all reason can be drowned within them. No matter how open it may seem that you will nevertheless accept certain emotions that you think of as safe and ignore others or stop them at particular points because you are afraid of following them further. This behavior will follow your beliefs, of course. If you are over 40, for instance, you may tell yourself that age is meaningless, that you enjoy much younger people, that you think young thoughts. You will accept only those emotions that appear to be in keeping with your ideas of youth. You become concerned with the problems of the young. You accept what you think of as optimistic, health-giving thoughts. You consider yourself quite emotional, perhaps. Underneath, however, you are very much aware, as indeed you should be, of your reality in creaturehood. Yet you firmly ignore any changes in your appearance from the time you were, say, 30, and in so doing, lose sight of your validity as a creature in space and time. You will inhibit any thoughts of death or dying or of old age, and so close out quite natural feelings that are meant to lead you beyond your earlier years. You are denying the body's corporeal existence and its focus in the time of the seasons, and cheating yourself of those natural biological, psychic, and mental motions that are meant to take you past themselves. Now, in this particular context, one of the problems arises out of the connotations given to the words older or old. In your culture, you believe that to be young is to be flexible, alert, and aware. To be old or older is considered a disgrace, generally speaking, rigid, out of style, and passé. If you desperately try to remain young, it is usually to hide your own beliefs about age, and to negate all of those emotions connected with it. Whenever you refuse to accept the reality of your creaturehood, you also reject aspects of your spirit. The body exists in the world of space and time. The experiences you may encounter in your 60s are as necessary as those in your 20s. Your changing image is supposed to tell you something. When you pretend alterations do not occur, you block both biological and spiritual messages. In old age, the organism is, in certain terms, preparing for a new birth. The combined events of spirit, mind, and body involve not only the passing of one season, but preparation for the beginning of another. The situation includes all of those supports necessary to carry you through, not only with acceptance, but with the great aggressive drive toward new experience. To refute your reality in time, therefore, results in your being stuck in time and obsessed by it. Accepting your integrity in time allows the body to function until its natural end, in good condition, free from those distorted, invisible concepts about age. If you believe that youth is the ideal and struggle for it, while simultaneously believing that old age must involve infirmities, then you cause an unnecessary dilemma and hasten aging according to the negative aspects of your mind. Each individual must examine his or her individual beliefs, or begin with feelings that will inevitably lead to them. In this area, as in all others, those of you who are proficient verbally might use the method of writing. Either write down your beliefs as they come to you, or make lists of your intellectual and emotional assumptions. You may find that they are quite different. If you have a physical symptom, do not run away from it. Feel its reality in your body. Let the emotions follow freely. They will lead you, if you allow them to flow, to the beliefs that cause the difficulty. They will take you through many aspects of your own reality that you must face and explore. These methods release your withheld natural aggressiveness. You may feel that you are swamped by emotion, but trust it. Again, it is the motion of your being, and it arouses your own creativity. Followed, it will seek the answers to your problems. Rupert, in his dialogues, has an excellent example in the way in which he allowed his feelings to rise, though he was initially frightened of them. Everyone cannot write poetry, but each person is creative in his or her own way, and can follow the emotions as Rupert did, whether or not a poem results. You must realize that your conscious mind is competent, its ideas pertinent, and that your own beliefs affect and form your body and your experience. As you examine the contents of your conscious mind, it may seem to you that you hold so many different beliefs at different times that you cannot correlate them. They will, however, form into clear patterns. You will find a grouping of core beliefs about which the others gather. If you think of these as planets, then your other ideas orbit about them. There may be some quote-unquote invisible beliefs, and there may be one or two invisible core beliefs. These, following the analogy, would be hidden behind the other brighter, more obvious quote-unquote planets, and yet would show their presence through their effects upon your relationships with all of the other visible core beliefs in your quote-unquote planetary system. Questions you cannot seem to answer as you study your own ideas, for example, may lead you to suspect the existence of such invisible core beliefs. Let me emphasize that they are consciously available. You can find them through the approaches mentioned earlier, working from your feelings or by beginning with the beliefs that become most readily available. This subject leads to what I will call bridge beliefs, and again, Rupert received some information on this topic ahead of time for his own benefit. As you examine your ideas, you will discover that even some apparently contradictory ones have similarities, and these resemblances may be used to bridge the gaps between beliefs, even those that seem to be the most diverse. Because you are the individual who holds the beliefs, you will stamp them, so to speak, with certain characteristics that you will recognize. These aspects will themselves emerge as bridge beliefs. They contain great motion and energy. When you discover what they are, you will find a point of unity within yourself from which you can, with some detachment, view your other systems of belief. The emotions connected with these bridge beliefs may indeed surprise you, but standing upon such unifying structures, you are also free to let the emotional flow sweep past, feeling it, but aware, for the first time perhaps, of the origin of those feelings in your beliefs, and no longer afraid of being swept away by them. It is impossible to tell you of the emotional reality of such an experience. You will have to discover it for yourself. Such bridge beliefs often allow you to perceive the quote-unquote invisible beliefs mentioned this evening, and these can then appear to you as a revelation. On second thought, however, you will realize that another belief blocked that one from your view, but that you were always aware of it, and that in a strange way it was also invisible because you took it for granted. You did not consider it a belief about reality, but as reality itself, and never questioned it.